Before we begin, you should understand something. Across countless worlds and hidden corners of reality, there are creatures that should not exist, entities that defy science, and monsters most people will never know about. My name is the Researcher. I do not hunt these creatures. I do not interfere with them. I only observe and document what I find. This is mostly monsters, and tonight's discoveries may be some of the strangest yet. SCP-042-CS, Northern Devil. It's from the Czechoslovakian branch. Object Class Euclid. Some SCPs are dangerous, some are intelligent. The Northern Devil is both. Standing approximately 2.12 meters tall, SCP-042-CS resembles a massive humanoid creature with a strange beard made of organic tissue and four horns. Two smaller black horns protrude from its forehead and constantly secrete a dark venom capable of poisoning organisms through skin contact. But the real weapons are the larger horns. Two massive horns from the top of its skull can extend outward to 1.5 meters in length. These horns are composed of extremely dense bone and can retract directly into the skull through a biological mechanism researchers still cannot explain. When calm, the horns remain about 40 centimeters long, but when the Northern Devil becomes aggressive, they grow. And aggression is when the creature becomes truly deadly. The Northern Devil can charge at speeds of 80 kilometers per hour, striking targets with the force of a battering ram. Foundation data shows that impacts from these attacks result in instant death in 94.7% of cases. Attempting to shoot the creature is ineffective. Its skin is essentially bulletproof. However, tests have shown that bladed weapons, such as knives or machetes, are far more effective against the entity, which explains why two armed guards carrying blades must remain outside its containment chamber at all times. SCP-042-CS is kept in a Level 3 humanoid containment chamber and constantly breathes a controlled flow of carbon dioxide. But containment isn't just about its strength, it's about its voice. If the Northern Devil is allowed to speak, it begins chanting in an unknown language with slight similarities to Nordic dialects. Moments later, the entity releases a deep resonance capable of disrupting organic tissue within 12 meters. Victims exposed to the sound rapidly lose structural integrity and quite literally melt. The phenomenon affects only living tissue, leaving non-organic materials untouched. Because of this ability, SCP-042-CS must wear a muzzle at all times, even during interviews. 3 guards must stand ready to silence the entity immediately if it begins speaking. Yet despite its violence, SCP-042-CS has repeatedly told researchers something disturbing. According to the creature, being captured by humanity is a disgrace, and it deserves death. It claims the only way to kill it is by stabbing its heart. But the heart of SCP-042-CS is not located in its chest. It is located on its back, beneath a layer of natural armor, and so far, no one has attempted it. SCP-015-IT, the Boogeyman. He's from the Italian SCP branch. Object Class, Euclid. If SCP-042-CS is a warrior, then SCP-015-IT is a hunter, and it hunts something very specific: fear. The Boogeyman is a humanoid entity approximately 1.9 meters tall. Its skin absorbs 98% of all incoming light, making it nearly invisible in dark environments. Its face lacks both a nose and external ears. Its eyes glow faintly, capable of emitting their own light thanks to specialized structures known as photophores. But the most disturbing part of the creature is its mouth. Inside are 16 pointed teeth and a 28-centimeter forked tongue tipped with 2 hollow needles. The Boogeyman does not feed on flesh. Instead, it consumes adrenaline and noradrenaline, hormones produced by mammals during intense fear. To harvest these chemicals, the boogeyman has developed a terrifying hunting strategy. It hides in darkness, closets, corners, shadows, anywhere people rarely look. It stalks its prey silently, waiting for the perfect moment. When the victim is distracted, SCP-015-IT strikes. It grabs the target and bites into the side of the torso, anchoring itself with its teeth. Then its forked tongue extends, piercing directly into the adrenal gland. One needle drains adrenaline-rich blood, the other injects a mild sedative, keeping the victim alive and immobilized while the creature feeds. When finished, the boogeyman simply releases the victim and disappears back into the darkness. But observing the entity has its own consequences. Personnel assigned to the boogeyman containment begin experiencing severe psychological deterioration after prolonged exposure. Hallucinations, panic attacks, visual distortions, and extreme cases, damage to the cardiovascular system. The symptoms typically take about 2 weeks of observation, but if SCP-015-IT hasn't fed recently, the psychological effects appear much sooner, almost as if the creature is weakening observers before they ever become prey. SCP-050-PT, the Sack Man. It's Portuguese SCP branch. Object Glass, Keter. Deep within a sealed mine shaft in Mount Redacted National Park, something enormous waits in the darkness. SCP-050-PT currently measures 6.5 meters in height. At first glance, it resembles an elderly human male, but the resemblance quickly disappears. Its jaw can open to a 120-degree angle, revealing a throat large enough to swallow a human being whole. Its neck is grotesquely enlarged, measuring nearly 80 centimeters in diameter, and in its right hand, the creature constantly clutches a massive leather sack capable of holding approximately 150 liters. Its fingers and bones have become severely deformed from constantly gripping the bag. When a human enters the creature's range, the sack man becomes immediately hostile. It captures victims and swallows them whole, much like a serpent consuming prey. After feeding, SCP-050-PT enters a state of lethargy, and then something horrifying happens. The creature begins to grow. For every human consumed, the Sackman increases in size by 1/100th of its body mass per hour until the victim is fully digested. Researchers have also discovered something deeply unsettling. The entity never loses mass. It does not starve. It does not shrink. Every victim it consumes permanently increases its size. The only reason SCP-050-PT remains contained is because it fell into an abandoned mine shaft while pursuing 2 hikers decades ago. The Foundation immediately sealed the area and created a restricted containment zone. No personnel are allowed inside, because if the Sackman ever escapes that pit, it may never stop growing. SCP-488-JP Werewolves. Japanese SCP branch. Object class Euclid-Keter. Most SCP files are dangerous, but SCP-488-JP is dangerous simply to document. This designation refers to a species of humanoid organisms mutated from gray wolves. However, these creatures are far more dangerous than traditional werewolves. SCP-488-JP instances possess the ability to alter reality, and they use this ability in horrifying ways. If someone creates information about SCP-488-JP, documents, recordings, photographs, or videos, they become a target. The creatures alter reality itself to hunt down the creator of that information. Victims are found with grotesque distortions to their bodies, extra limbs, unknown organs, structures that serve no biological purpose. Large sections of documentation describing these alterations have been permanently deleted from Foundation records due to their extreme cruelty. The SCP Foundation first encountered these entities after rumors of werewolves spread near Mount Redacted in Japan. A mobile task force was deployed. None returned. Later investigation revealed the team had documented SCP-488-JP's reality-altering ability, which marked them for death. Eventually, the Foundation launched a massive containment operation costing hundreds of lives. 14 instances are currently contained, and to prevent the creatures from becoming hostile, personnel must feed them 2 living human children every day. Even by SCP Foundation standards, this containment procedure is considered one of the darkest ever recorded. SCP-ZH-002 Taiwanese Unicorn. The Chinese Taiwanese SCP branch. Object class: Keter. Not every SCP is a monster. Some are warnings. The Taiwanese unicorn is an anomalous creature resembling a mythical unicorn, but its body is composed of characteristics from at least 13 different Taiwanese animal species. These include the antlers of a Taiwanese sika deer, the hooves of a somber deer, the markings of the Formosan black bear, fur patterns of Formosan clouded leopards and leopard cats, feathers of the Formosan blue magpie and Mikadu pheasant, the scales of a Taiwanese pangolin, the eyes of a Taiwanese macaque, the ears of a flying fox bat, the fangs of a wild boar, and several other biological traits. At the center of its forehead is a 30-centimeter transparent blue crystalline horn, capable of producing powerful thaumaturgic energy. The creature also emits divine radiation measured between 130 and 533 akivas, classifying it as a natural divine entity. But what makes SCP-ZH-002 truly terrifying is not its appearance. It's the timing of its sightings. Historical records show the creature appearing repeatedly since the 17th century, and every appearance has been followed by a major catastrophe in Taiwan. Natural disasters, industrial accidents, containment breaches. One recent sighting was followed within 24 hours by 2 chemical plant explosions, a separate SCP containment breach, and 47 confirmed deaths. Multiple attempts to capture SCP-ZH-002 have failed, which means when Foundation agents see the Taiwanese unicorn, they know something terrible is about to happen. That concludes today's archive. 5 anomalies, 5 mysteries, 5 monsters. This is Mostly Monsters, documented by the researcher. New discoveries will be released every Friday and Saturday, so subscribe if you want to continue exploring the unknown. Until next time, observe, record, and never get too close to the monsters.